So shalom, shalom. I was supposed to make this, this is Malky in Arizona. I was supposed to make a video yesterday, I think. I was praising Abba Yah, and he was giving me messages about the Sanhedrin. And apparently I was communicating in the spirit realm with Dr. Hillel Weiss, because what I was praying for, what Abba was showing me, he actually sent me a picture of my signature being there, and he said he was proud of it, which really blessed me. But I have to share. Abba sent me there that day. Hillel even said, "You were God sent," and I said, "I know." I wasn't trying to be arrogant. I just knew that Abba literally was preparing me. He sent me there for that purpose. It was because he wanted my intention to be part of that lamb. And I have to tell you right now, the Father's intention, I want it to be very clear. And this is why he told me, I sent a message to Bibi Netanyahu back then and said, you won't form a government until you hear the Father's heart. And he wouldn't hear it. He didn't care. It's like, I get it. Who's this crazy man? I get it. I even told him that. But he doesn't seem to care. He wants it still to be me to do these things anyway. I'm just so you know, I'm just a fool listening to his voice inside of me that's talking to me. And the reason I do is because he never lies to me. He never lies to me. And he shows me all these deep truths that I have no reason to understand or even know. I'm not a Bible scholar. I'm not any scholar in anything other than listening to him, and now he's blessing me and everything. I mean, I just found out all these studies they're doing now with scorpions, and he basically, after telling me he was going to sting me with a scorpion, he did. It ended up blessing me. And now when they find them, I actually put them on my joints to bless me. They help me. There's peptides in there that are special. Not to go off track. Abba had me sign that way. I'm like, really? You sure? And he's like, yes. And I don't know what that means. That there is a Northern Kingdom high priest. When he told me I was a priest, just a priest, not the high priest, but I laughed. And I said, what kind of priest? I can't remember any of these prayers. I can't do these things. I can't even stand up myself for one of them. What kind of priest can I be? And one day I was just praising him, and I started speaking in tongues, and I started singing too. And just the sounds that were coming out were frequencies, I guess. And at the end, I hear in my spirit, he says to me, you just did it. And I said, I did what? What do you mean? He goes, you just did your priestly duties. I said, what? He goes, yeah. All you had to do is listen and do, and I'll tell you what to do. But you just did the prayers, you did everything you were supposed to do. Because you were in the state of praise, I showed you. I said, wow, that's all I have to do? He's like, that's it. Actually, Eliyahu comes with a new covenant, which is the same covenant as it always was. I'm just here to remind everybody. The covenant of Abraham. Hear and do. Hear and do. That's the covenant he tells me to bring. He literally has me here as a judge. And I laugh again. I said, a judge needs to know laws, don't they? He's like, yeah. I said, well, I'm not a Bible scholar. Don't you think you need a Jew for that? He says, yeah, but they're judging they're judging not necessarily with the right heart. You're here to test people's hearts. You're here to judge their hearts for why they do what they do. You see, I knew Mariah was there. I knew it was an evil spirit that was working through her from the moment she came up. See, in God's kingdom, when you're in the presence of him, everything that's with him and in him, everything happens naturally. And I was just having a moment with my brother, Adam Eliyahu, and he just told me, he goes, you're Joseph, and I didn't recognize you. And I was having a moment. And then Mariah came up and interrupted This is always what happens when it's something evil, because it's here to break that. It's here to control. It's here to stop the spirit of Yah, which is love. And I knew immediately, and she's like, well, you can't say this and you can't say that, and you believe in Jesus. Oh my God, or not Jesus, but you know what I mean. She wanted to cancel the whole thing. She wanted it not to happen. And I'm like, you're going against God, because he planned me to come here, and I can't think about what I'm going to say. I will mess it up. I can't do that. It's not how I work. I have to just open my mouth and let him speak. Whatever utterance he gives me, whatever sounds he gives me, or whatever ideas he puts in my head or my being. I had no idea what I was going to say. Nothing. But apparently I said a lot up there. And that sacrifice, I hope you understand who I am and what I'm supposed to do as a witness, as Eliyahu. That's who he tells me I am. That's the voice in my head. I'm either crazy or it's true. But just so you know, it was prophesied that I would come this way. Exactly. You would think I was crazy. And the other witness, a madman. Or I'm the madman and he's crazy. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It is what it is. But just so you know, we're the witnesses bringing the judgments to the earth. That's why we called out the judgments. The war between the sons of light and the sons of darkness on Zion, on the day that Rav Kaduri prophesied. We sent that to you, and it wasn't. I don't know, was it received? But we didn't know that was prophesied to happen that day. But it was very clear that he wanted me to have Stone read it. I didn't wear my glasses, and it was very clear he wanted him to read them. Those Dead Sea Scrolls started the war. So that's what the king wants war. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I realize Israel wants peace, but she's not going to have it until after the war, and after what has to happen happens. The king wants war. And let's not be like Vashti and plan our own parties and not dance for him on the Shabbat. Let's be like his wife Esther that he finds, that are hidden Hebrews. That's who we are. He told me I was Esther one time when I was there, and that he was going to take me to the 23rd floor. And I'm like, Abba, there's no 23rd floor here. There's a 22nd floor, and it's a hotel. And I go, that would be nice to stay there, but that's expensive, and I can't, I don't want to pay that. Little did I know, he showed me my house. It's actually built now. It's a penthouse. It's there in Yerushalayim. It's on the 23rd floor. I saw visions of it too. What I'm trying to say is, apparently, I'm Eliyahu. That's what he tells me. I can't cut my hair until the red heifer. I can't. That's why he had me take this Nazarite vow, and I'm just so you know, like I told you before, I'm just a fool. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no clue. And he tells me I'm a king too. And I said, Father, I have a wife and 2 boys, and I have a tough time being a king in my own household. How can I be king for you in any way? And he says, now you understand me, son. I have a bride like you do too. And I have 2 sons, the 2 sticks, Yehuda and Ephraim, the 2 kingdoms. And that's who they are. My kids are, one's like the Jew and one's like Ephraim too. He goes, now you understand me. Now you understand my heart. How hard it is for them to come together in love. By little, by staying in the state of praise, we are literally flowing the spirit of the Mashiach through us. And we're becoming the Mashiach. We're becoming what's needed when it's needed. So that's what it talks about, being one. That's who Yeshua was, the one that brought me home to you, to marry you, the Jew. He brought us home. These are the true ones will know him, and you'll know them by their love. Don't look at Christianity. It's a big lie. But there was a Jew that died for me too. And the whole reason was because you can't remarry. That's what you divorced. And he said, I divorce you, Northern Kingdom. You didn't follow my laws. You went astray. So I'm a Lewi from the northern kingdom. That's what he tells me, at least. And I found out I had Cohen blood. He was telling me this, and I found out I had Cohen blood when I put it in the website. And by the way, you have some Cohen there. They're not really Cohen. They just changed their names and got in there, I guess. I don't know, but I sat next to one, and he was no Cohen, I'll tell you that. So, Father, thank you for overturning all these things, bringing truth down to your judgments come. Hallelujah, hallelujah. That's what this is. I have a right to bring judgments. I brought judgments on Netanyahu. I brought judgments on Trump too. I'm sure some of you did as well. I didn't go there to bring judgments, but the Father, here's the deal. It says he wills Babylon to be healed, but she won't be healed. She'll get double judgment. And that's what Biden means, doesn't it? Buy for double and den for judgment. So that's what Babylon gets. Double judgments. So right now, the battle is going to be on for God's children, Israel. And what he tells me, I just have to do what he tells me to do. And it tells me, but he tells me, so what I was asking for, I'm like, look, I was just looking at the pictures and she cropped out my name because I signed high priest, of course, I get it. But I'm just doing what my master is telling me, my king. And she cropped it out. And Abba's telling me, he says, you have a position in there, and as high priest, you have authority too. I'm like, I don't even know how, Abba, I don't know what to do, but I'm sure the Jew will know what to do. That's why I asked Hillel, tell me, please, what rights I have so I can help establish this thing. All I know is I work out of love and I feel things. I feel his spirit. I feel God's heart. The Father's heart is what I feel. That's why you can pray all you want to stop the Gog and Magog war. But this is the story of Esther taking place as we speak. And the king wants war. He wants to fight the Greek. That's, I was raised Greek, and I'm there fighting against the Greeks. Off the land, he tells me that land that's Greek Orthodox, he says that's the bride's land. It's not theirs. It's funny because I sent 2 police officers there to get me, and I started speaking in tongues. His spirit started flowing through. His name came through too, and next thing you know, the police went running scared and never bothered me again. What I'm trying to say is, we have a king. We have a king. And the king has laws that nobody can change. Not even Jesus. And he never did, by the way. Which I'm asking the Sanhedrin, we are going to have to put Jesus, you can put this fake Jesus on trial. You're going to find him guilty as all get out or whatever. But that's not what he said. The true Messiah spoke, and he came to bring the lost sheep home. That's why he sent them out there to the lost of Israel to go gather them. He says Jew first, and then the Gentile. Then he says whoever wants to come can come. But we have to follow his laws. We become one law for one people. All I know is I'm just doing what he tells me to do. And he tells me I can't cut my hair until I do the red heifer too. I don't even know what that means. I'm scared to study it. I don't want to study anything. I don't want to make anything happen. My job is listen and do. But I know what your job to do is. And what he tells me for the Jew to do is to bless the Hebrew, to kadosh her, the bride. The lost 10 tribes that are coming home, the Jew needs to teach her how she needs to be kadoshed and appropriate for the king. But all I know is, like Esther, I'm risking death going to the king by his name too. He could kill me for coming unannounced or uncalled, or he could extend a golden scepter. And so far, that's all he's done is extended me the golden scepter. What have I done to deserve this? And I'll tell you what I've done. I was willing to play the fool. I was willing to be almost crazy for him. So right now we're going to my endocrinologist. My wife is taking me. Hi, Sharon. And so there's evidence that I have tumors inside my adrenals or in the next to my aorta or whatever, but it's causing my adrenaline issue. So when you see me get angry and bringing judgments on people, the crazy, it's actually part of a physical condition. It's part of my physical condition. I have a little bit of everything, it seems like, but I call it my superpower because, and I know God uses it. That's what he uses to bring judgments, because he can literally aggravate me. I can feel his hand go into me and twist my guts and make me angry. I can feel it. It's him. The first time it happened, after the light hit me in Jerusalem in 1991, was when I was kissing the idolatry. I shared that on Mount of Olives. I was kissing the idolatry and it made the Father angry. And I'm like, what am I doing? And I thought, am I evil now? And some Greek Orthodox tell me I am. I would go by in Jerusalem and tell them, those kissing those idolatries are going to give you plagues. They're going to make you sick. You're going to get boils and things. Too. God's cursing those things. Actually, he had me do it. That's what I was there to do. So now cursed is Israel too, the leaders of Israel, for not allowing the people to make their mitzvah to come for Sukkot. So what is that going to do to the whole world too? When they weren't able to come there for Sukkot, are they going to get their water at their proper times? Are they going to get, or is it going to flood in inappropriate times? That's what I believe is happening. We've got starvation that's going to be coming. It's actually part of their plan too. Ultimately, Abba knows what he's doing, and it was all Abba's plan, wasn't it? But in the end, is so that his people rise up. And what he told me, he's going to shake up the world, and like the butter the cream that's going to go to the top, that's Sion. That's the fat is his people. It's spiritual oil of love. It's his love that comes in. So that's a new currency we're going to have too. That's something I'll have to share with you. But we're making a whole new system, a bartering system that is based on. Hold on, I need that person. That is based on the blood of the Messiah, and I'm like, how does that work? Well, what he was sharing with me, that blood is the DNA, which is actually Jacob's ladder. It's the family tree, which I got connected to, and I got to see all of them. I got to see all the way back to Enoch. I don't think I saw Adam, but I saw everybody, the whole family. Anyway, I'm here and I have to go to the doctor's office to see, but he tells me I have some sort of authority, and the way I signed was important too. So it was funny because Dr. Hillel just sends it to me and said he was proud of it. That blessed me. That blessed me so much. I'm having a tough time taking that. Anyway, I'm here. Bless all of you. I just want you to know his kingdom is coming how he chooses, not by organized corporations and the worldly things that people have built. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to. Jezebels will be coming. They want to control. And that's why she was there, was to take control over it. Look at her. She's the founder. The founder. I'm sorry you have to listen to those things, but I'm glad that I do what I do, because I'm the one that is bringing judgments on her too. Your judgments, Hillel, was that you didn't see who we were. That God's bringing his children home. Mamarita, me, other people you'll see. They're coming out of Christianity. And they're your bride to be. So you need to kadosh her so she can make her offering in the temple too. That's what he tells me. Anyway, so please help kadosh us. Make us holy and appropriate. I'm a Lewi. I'm a Cohen. I'm supposed to know these things. I don't have a clue of anything. He just told me I needed to do these sacrifices at home, and I did. I listened. and I witnessed miracles. I mean, how did the first lamb, I thought there wasn't enough fire for it to burn 10 minutes, let alone burn all the bones and wet things and the food. And I mean, it was like, it was wet from being kashrooted. And I put it on these coals and it just smoked. And I said, I can't, I have to light more fire. And he says, don't worry about it, I got this. And I left. I said, you got this. You talk like that? And he's like, go to bed. You provide the sacrifice, I'll provide the fire. He says, go to bed. I will take care of this. And I did. And the fire burned for 3 days and 3 nights. And it literally left. The only thing it left was the left horn that my son wanted. And I said, son, everything has to be burnt. We can't keep the left horn, I'm sorry. But do you know the bone inside of the left horn was burnt? But it left the left horn. And every bone was dust. How hot does it have to be to do such a thing? But it was his fire. Oh, another fire I have to show you. When I burnt my mom's idolatries, there was a blue flame that I've never seen before. Are you sure we're not going to need a mask?
No,
Anyway. Well, then do we have them? Oh. Anyway, bless you all. We all have authority in him. It doesn't matter what anybody does or says or whatever. All those things are going to naught. I mean, he told me he's going to make it so we can't trust any government at all but him. And that's what we come down to. We have a king, and he has laws that nobody can change. Jesus didn't change anything. Somebody asked him what they do to be saved. He says, keep the laws. Okay? So, man lied to us. The Antichrist system lied to us. The Catholic Church lied to us, didn't they? It actually told us in Daniel who was going to be the Antichrist system, which is the Catholic Church. They were going to change the Moedim. What they do, they changed the whole calendar too. Judgments come upon them now. May we own them because they wanted to own me and you. So now they may come under our authority. That's what he tells me. Anybody going against his will, we can put under our feet and under our authority. I gotta go to the doctor. Bless you. I love all of you. His kingdom's here. It's come now. We just have to obey. Hear and obey. Shalom, shalom. That's the new covenant.